You know, it's no secret that you're at your smartest when sitting at a campfire. The warmth that seeps into your pores allows your brain to soar and come up with thoughts that you otherwise would have ignored. So as I've been sitting here warming my ball sack against this fire pit, an idea hit me that's never struck anyone before. There's a multitude of different tier lists covering Dead by Daylight, but they all just seem unimportant in the grand scheme of things. In this video, I'm going to be covering all 41 of the killers in DBD and ranking them by how fat their ass cheeks are. And since Deathslinger is the gameplay you'll mostly be seeing, it's only right we start with him first. Now, if this were a jawline ranking, homie would be at the bottom, because it looks like his upper and lower jawbones are going through a nasty divorce. Luckily though, his bottom is nowhere near the bottom of the tiers, because if you pull up his model, not only will you see Caleb's dongle, but that annoying ass skirt he's wearing won't be fondling in the wind, and you'll catch a proper glimpse of what he's working with. And unfortunately for all three of us slinger mains, there really ain't shit. This is what I imagine my grandfather's ass to look like, but I'm not gonna fact check that. So I'm sorry I low-key lied at the start of this section, but I'm putting Slinger in D. Next is my boy Evan, and I know he's got those heavy-duty ass overalls on, but that's not just for style points. He actually needs to wear those in order to protect that Monster Jam level dump truck attached to his hips. The day this skin makes its way to the game is the day DBD's community finally becomes undivided. Homie's earned himself a B tier. I'm pretty sure Wraith can be anatomically defined as a plateau because he does not have a single curve on him. Banging Wraith would mean you're clamping straight bones. Backshots on this man would produce sawdust. You could use this guy's ass cheeks as a perfectly straight table to test your level on, and for that he's going in F. Billy Boy's got a bit of a sleeper build. I've always wondered if the skin on his face is actually a skin graft taken from his butt, since it looks so stretchy and flexible and always moves whenever he turns his head. Since Billy's low-key just Usain Bolt in a Halloween costume, it's fair to say he's got a properly built pair of gluteus maximums that he just tucks away in his jeans to spare us lower level beings of becoming fiends. All Billy really had to do before he got taken by the entity was show people his buns, and then they wouldn't make fun of him anymore. But since he never will show us his buns, and they still remain hidden away after all these years, I'm gonna have to give him a C tier. Now since Nurse never uses her legs, the cheeks are guaranteed to be weak. The ass atrophy will be eye-catching for all the wrong reasons. I mean, she's low-key got some calcium cannon, so there's a small chance she's packing some Dooney Dunlaps as well, but due to her constant floating, I find that chance to be too small to count. I'm gonna give her an F simply due to my lack of knowledge surrounding her bongos. Next is Miguel Myers, and I only say his name like that because I went against this streamer a few weeks ago while I was playing as Myers, and he ended up clipping me a little bit.
Oh my god! Yeah, Miguel, go somewhere else. Oh my god, you holy shit, bro, chill. This fucking got bam, I'm dead. Come here, boy! Holy f, he broke this so quick! Holy shit!
Myers' ass is about as flat as my performance was that video, and unfortunately, even when looking up his hospital gown, the cheeks still make you frown. So sadly, I'm gonna have to put Papa Myers down in D tier. Next up is Nea. Oh shit, I mean the hag. Now no lie, she kinda looks like my ex-girlfriend. I mean obviously she didn't look like this as we were together, but after we broke up and she had to face the world without Noxylicious himself in it with her, she let herself go and this is what she turned into. Now guys, call me crazy, but would. I mean, she is a cannibal, so it wouldn't be out of character for her to gobble up your meat. But yeah, I agree she looks like a texture pack for the Minecraft skeleton, so she's going in F. Now I could have sworn the doctor was a woman. Like I vaguely remember hearing that at one point in time. But even if he was, it wouldn't change the fact that bro's got the bareback build of a barren basin. Like that shit curves inwards. And Doctor would low-key be the type of guy to spam the N-word in the in-game chat. If he can even utter something as intelligible as that out of his disgusting looking mouth. He's a solid F, just like his player base. Do you ever lie awake at night doom scrolling for hours on end, just trying to mentally power through the realization that tomorrow you have to live yet another miserable day without this woman hitting your face with an ass cheek attitude adjustment? Well, I have ever since a lifeguard with the body figure of Huntress did a cannonball into the kiddie pool I was pretending to drown in to get her attention, only for her to slip mid-jump and for her chocolate starfish to smack me in the face harder than Nemesis Nemesis wants to smack the stars out of Jill's cranium. Shut the fuck up, Nimmy. And now I long for the day I find someone who packs a fuller fudge factory. In all seriousness, Huntress's hookah honkers aren't really that bonkers, so long as we ain't talking hooked on you, Huntress. But I'm gonna give DBD Huntress a B tier. So you know how there's this random toilet in the hallway on Midwich? Well, Bubba's ass was made to sit on this specific toilet. There's quite literally red flesh-like goop marinating under it, which fits Bubba's vibe perfectly. And the goop would also make for great support when trying to keep the toilet together while Bubba's fat fucking ass is sitting on it. So in case you couldn't tell off of the first glance, Bubba's ass is complete ass, so he's going in F. This is the first time you'll ever see somebody named Bubba in the F tier on my channel. Now, Freddy's in the same domain as Wraith, only he's somehow even more of a twink. Like, his buns are the same buns you'll find on any given basic white man in history. Maybe he should use them finger knives to carve a more attractive ass formation out of himself, because as of right now, I'd say he's got the worst butt cheek build in the game. Freddy's an F. And you know what that means, behavior. This calls for another rework. Now for Amanda, if you're ignoring the fucking full-size pig head she has on, she's actually kind of a baddie. She just looks like a normal middle-aged woman. And although I prefer men, I got to admit she's equipped with quite good shit. This is an A tier ass, fellas. And that thing I just said about men didn't actually happen. You heard nothing. I think I'd rather tongue punch a dead raccoon's fart box than get anywhere near the clown's fart box. But it'd be wrong if I didn't bring up how fucking fast this guy was. Whenever he throws down his bottles full of piss air, he starts cosplaying as a NASCAR and gets to digging. This has to mean his cheeks got major meat. And when you get a glimpse of it, you can't help but imagine how many people his cheek meat could feed. Maybe this is the solution to world hunger. Just feeding starving people clown's fat rolls, as well as his players' fat rolls, because we all know you're fat as shit if you main clown. B tier booty cheeks. Now Spirit's a bit of a weird one because I can't tell if she's triple cheeked up or she's just got the worst posture a human has had since Stephen Hawking. Assuming it's the first option though, she's going in S. There's no arguing this. I mean, the designers literally gave up when trying to cover the cheeks. Those little bandages ain't doing shit. You can still see the shape clear as day. Now for the Legion, you could argue that there's actually 4 completely different people with their own unique ass shapes, but I really don't give a shit. The last thing I want to do is spend more than like 3 seconds glazing this annoying ass killer. The hottest Legion is by far Julie, and even then, she's still got patty cakes that equate to that of a McChicken. It's just nothing special. C tier cakes. Oh, now barf in my fucking mouth and call me Tabitha. Next up we got the Plague. This is an underrated killer in terms of attraction, I'd say, because if you've ever done yourself the justice of looking up the Plague's human version, then you'd know her potential. It's just really unfortunate that it looks like she just crawled out of an ocean-sized tub of hydrochloric acid, because the ass shape is there, but the problem is her derriere likely contracts every bacteria within the air. She's still got a B tier badonkadonk though. Next is Chode Face, and let's just get this over with. There's not a single skin that actually reveals the proper shape of his rump, so any ranking I give him wouldn't be canon. However, I'd like to make an educated guess based on the information that I've gathered from him. Similar to Pig, Ghosty's very good when it comes to rapidly crouching and sneaking around while he's squatting. And I don't know if you've ever tried meandering around while in the active squatty potty position, but that shit hurts quite a bit. Ooh, my kidding, DBD players probably haven't even fucking squatted once. So if he's just able to do this infinitely in his trials, then the man has to have titanium glute muscles, meaning his ass is more beautiful than this picture I took of my dog. He's gonna get a hypothetical A tier. Okay, now this one's gonna come as a surprise to some of y'all, but low-key, Demo's got some flappers back there, man. They may be formed out of straight Kevlar, but they're still formed nonetheless. I reckon Demo Dog earns himself a solid C. What a cutie. Alright, now the Oni's another killer where we can't quite see his buns due to it being hidden from our eyes. But a lot of people don't realize the full body strength you need to slam that heavy ass stick he's carrying into the faces of multiple survivors at once. He needs to do a bit of a squat when prepping his swing, and after a while of doing this, I reckon his cheeks would take the shape of a B tier set of bongas. Alright, so Pyramid Head's a bit of a sad one because I'm almost 100% certain the devs nerfed his ass size at one point in time. Or maybe he just had a BBL and it got hit with Pop Goes the Weasel, because his buns are significantly smaller than they once were. But even with this terroristic nerf, he still got a bit of a bump in his trunk. As Patrick Star once said, I wouldn't be opposed to firmly grasping it. So I don't think he's quite S, but I will give him an A. Next is Blight, and how do you think he's able to use his power? It all comes from from his ginormous ass that smacks against walls and sends him careening towards your hopeless ass, while you just sit there and accept your defeat, cause what the fuck are you supposed to do when this Fint addict is death sprinting towards you at 115 miles an hour? I mean, at least you get a little show before your violent extermination, where you get to watch his cheeks jiggle from the velocity. Blight has an A tier ass. Twins, on the other hand, have an F tier ass, and I won't explain this further. This is a very ugly person, and her brother is somehow even worse. On the polar opposite side of the twins, however, we have Twinkster. Now he tries to look so fucking sexy with his shirt unbuttoned and the stance he's hitting, but I just can't get over his goofy ass walking animation. That shit makes me crack up every single time, to the point where I can't take him seriously. Low key, for a twink, he's got a set of buns though, so I'm gonna throw him in A. Alright, next up is... Yeah, get it all out of your fucking system, buddy. Jesus Christ, man. We need to wrap this up as quick as possible. Nemi's DBD form isn't that impressive in the Fudge Factory department, but it isn't a failure either. I think it's fair to give him a D. Oh shit, I think he heard that. Chill out, bro, it's not that serious. Oh shit. You know, Pinhead may be a god in his own sense, but is he really a god when his ass cheeks take the form of an IHOP pancake? Like, you got this sick ass leather jacket that covers your whole body, yet there's not even the tiniest of lumps extruding from your caboose area. You know what, maybe I'm not angry I didn't get the chance to pick up Pinhead before he left the store. I hope his bitch ass stays in the Shadow Realm. F tier booty. I just knew the artist was a baddie from her first reveal trailer. Ignoring that black jizz that's constantly flowing from her appendages, she just resembles a normal, slightly taller white girl. She's even got the same eyes that white girls have, since, you know, white girls don't have souls. Most importantly though, she's got the tutors. S tier tutors at that. Now before I rank Onryo, I would like to show you this screenshot, that way I don't get bombarded in the comment section. When you look up Onryo on Google, chances are you'll find an image like this, but unfortunately, this just isn't canon. Instead, the real Sadako has the same ass I did when I was like 13. The Doonies are inexcusably flat, and for that, she's going in D. Dredge is a floating mass of gas that lacks an ass, so I'm gonna have to pass on this and blast him into F relatively fast. Wesker is a former STARS member, which means he's bound to have a model level like set of glues, because for some reason every STARS member has the perfect... This fucker knows how to spell? But yeah, every member of that organization has the perfect glute genetics for no reason. Maybe their cheeks are what gives them this insane plot armor. But yeah, Wesker's a definite S. I mean, just look at this skin. Knight, however, is actually impossible to crack down on though, because we don't even know if he's human or not. For all I know, he could secretly be the Glibgub Gamgalab under that armor, and I'd have no idea. But to be safe, I'm gonna toss him an F, because there's just nothing to go off of. Skull Merchant is actually the reason I wanted to make this video in the first place. I'll always remember the first time I was being carried to the hook by a Skull Merchant, and my camera happened to be in the perfect position. This is better than getting a lap dance at a strip club. You see, she may just be pixels, but the relationship I've formed with her in my head is real, so I'm sure everyone has seen this coming, but she's going in S. Speaking of S, next up is the big S himself, Singularity. Now if this isn't your first time on this channel, then you know how I feel about clankers. But somehow my boy Hux-A7-13 managed to be even uglier. His ass cheeks are a mix of clankology and foreign meatballs. Instead of Ratchet and Clank, he would be Ballsack and Clank, because the alien goop on his body looks like the skin that hangs under my nuts. Your dick would short circuit upon making contact with his helipad, so he's going in F. Okay, now you're gonna have to hear me out on Xeno here, because when she's crawling around on all fours, something of mine starts to get sore. I didn't even fucking say stars. Oh my god. Wait a minute. What do you mean she's only an hour old? Okay guys, so as I've said this whole section, Xeno is obviously going in F. Chucky is a literal children's doll, so I don't even have anything funny to say here. He's in F. However, Tiffany's low-key got some schmovement. Like, I could totally see a midget mashing his meat stick to this. But since I'm canonically 7'8", I don't see her the same way. And also, I haven't ranked any other legendary variants up to this point, so I'm not gonna start here. Chucky's still an F. I don't know how he managed this, but but somehow Unknown's ass formation is less attractive than someone who literally doesn't have their lower body. Like, I would actually rather date a literal nugget than get with the Unknown. And I'm not even gonna front. Unknown looks almost identical to one of my ex-coworkers. And that guy also struggled in the fudge department. I mean, not that I was looking. You know, like, I wasn't looking at it. I'm gonna put Unknown in D. Now, I'm unfortunately very familiar with Vecna's asshole region because he flashes me every time he leaves chase and flies away. And I'm here to tell you that I am thoroughly disappointed whenever it happens. His cheeks are more mid than Pepsi. Like, if I'm gonna be forcefully flashed whenever I play against this man, at least serve me a Coke when you do it. Not some shitty knockoff cola. Vecna's a D. Speaking of D, next is the big D himself. Now, I'm only gonna be talking about Dracula's vampire form here because I'm not comfortable ranking a wolf's ass cheeks. Taking a look at Dracula's final form variant, you can see the mountainous monstrosity that is his glute muscles. So if you take that into account, although you can barely see his cheeks on his normal skin, you have to assume they're the same size. And if that's the case, then he's worthy of S. Houndmaster's ass is so big it would feel like you're navigating the sewers in Resident Evil 2 trying to find this woman's chocolate starfish. I swear to fucking God, Nemi. Like, I can just tell that shit's wrinkly and veiny just by seeing it through her pants. It's no secret that it's large. Some could even say massive. But a wise man once told me, shape over size. And the shape is just not ideal in my opinion. But don't worry, Houndmaster mains. I'm still gonna give her a B, because they're bodacious in their own right. Am I the only one that thinks the goal constantly has to shit? Because the way this man be lurking around the map makes it seem like he's got a stick up his ass or something. And that stick must be a twig, because his ass looks like a Fig Newton. I feel like if I were to slap Kin's ass, the sound that would emit would be very muffled, because there's not enough fluffle back there to mimic the sound of a snare. Basically what I'm trying to say is that Kaneki's cheeks are so tight that they lack a desirable formation, so he's going in C. Now unfortunately, for Springtrap we can't include the Matthew Lillard skin because that would break my scale. Normal Springtrap is decent at best, but I wish there was more curvature in the thigh region. He is just a walking corpse in a metal sarcophagus, so there's not much we can go off of here. I'm gonna put him in D because his suit could be worse if we're being honest. Lastly, we got the new fish in the sea, Krasue. Now her head form is an absolute nightmare and a definite turnoff for everybody except the hag, but good golly oh molly does her human form look like an absolute mommy. This woman might genuinely rival Skull Merchant in terms of cake. Once behavior inevitably cracks and gives us a Gooner Krasue skin, we'll know for sure. But for now, I'm gonna throw her right alongside the Merchant and S. And that was my ranking of each killer's anus cheeks. Depending on how well received this video was, I might make more DBD videos. Be sure to let me know your thoughts by violently assaulting that like button. And yeah, I love you Schnookies, and I'll see y'all later.